Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. So today I wanted to get to the astrology and Kabbalah of April. It's actually April 2nd already. And I was doing, I was cleaning my bedroom, doing dusting under the bed, and dusting all the furniture and stuff, and trying to organize a little better. It's important where you sleep to be as organized as possible, because your body, when you sleep, organizes itself. And if it's organizing itself in a chaotic environment, it's much better to order itself in an orderly environment, an orderly physical environment. So, and then, as you sleep, your consciousness sort of goes off and does its thing, kind of gets fed where it gets fed, and your body gets fed where it gets fed here. So hopefully, although I have been sleeping pretty soundly lately, there's still, it's not quite right yet. So hopefully it'll help some of my issues in the middle of the night. So it's April, and so the first thing we're going to start with is, let's see, we're going to start with the numerology of April. So let me just pull that up. Let me find that in my shares here. Oh, goodness gracious. Where is it? Oh, here. Is this it? Yes. Okay. It was right there and I couldn't find it. Right in front of my eyes. Okay, let's get started with let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. All right, let's do the slideshow, guys. From the beginning. Only the beginning. Only just the start. Hey, I got a feeling. I don't know how that goes. It's Chicago, though. To all our friends from Chicago, hi, Ona. I love your daily messages, by the way. I just freaking love them. It's just you and Jibs and the messages. Awesome. All right, let's get started. April, Kabbalah, astrology and Kabbalah of April 2021. As always, I start with the numerology. So let's take a look at the numbers. So I always look at the monthly vibration, the universal year vibration, right? And then the combination of those, which would be the energy of the month and the year, right? So we are in a, so the four, let's just name the numbers, right? We have the 4, which is the monthly vibration. It's April, the 4th month. And the 4 is the builder vibration. Then we have the universal year vibration, which is a 5, right? That is a number that is resonating all year for us. And 5 is the freedom vibration. So on some level this year, it's about freeing yourself from something, right? Freeing yourself from something that has held you back. The monthly vibration as a 4 says that this month is going to be a month of hard work. It's about putting your nose to the grindstone. It's about organizing and figuring out what it is that you need, how you're going to move forward. The time for sort of introspection is over. That was more of the 4 vibration, the 2020 vibration. Being a 4, 2020 is, and we'll see it as we move and talk about the 4 as the monthly. So there's an energy of this monthly that is similar to the vibration of all of 2020. So there still is a need to stay somewhat contained within your life. There's still some heavy lifting that needs to happen. And it's really, I think we've done a lot of the emotional work already. I feel like this is actually physical labor. And of course, it's April here. And in the Northeast, this is when you start when the the plants start to come up, you start to garden, you start to prepare the soil, you start to, rake out last year's flotsam and jetsam, and you maybe put some new mulch in, or you start planting seeds. So it's a time of heavy labor anyway, in the nature of April. And then, of course, if you add the 4, which is the monthly vibration, and the 5, we get the 9 vibration, and that's the vibration for the month and the year. So the combination of that freedom and that building vibration, and it is the vibration of wisdom. So let's take a look at the vibration, the card associated with it. We'll talk a little bit about the path of life that gets activated. So the monthly vibration for April, again, remember I said that this is the same vibration as we had in all of 2020. So there's a lot of things about 2020 that we will experience in a very sort of condensed version. But what it helps us to do, it helps us to build, pardon me, Joe, that I don't actually, I borrow this from you, but it is sort of a build back better kind of vibration. It really is. Ultimately, what it seems to me like is that we got to the point where we were isolated and angry and on the edge of sort of falling into an abyss, but we didn't. And we had to get that close. Could we have fallen into the abyss? I don't know. I think so, but we didn't. And that's all that matters, because it doesn't matter what happened in the past. It only matters what you're doing right now in the present moment. Although the past does have its influence. And we will see that in the numbers, actually. So 4 represents stability and structure on the material plane. 4 is the symbol of law, system, and order. A concentration of energy has occurred, which creates work, discipline, and practicality. So certainly 2020 required people to be very resourceful, very practical. And, a lot of people helped a lot of people. There were a lot of people in dire straits, and people offered their time, people offered their resources, people offered their moral support to other people to help sort of hold us together, And that force that holds us together is love. And now it's like an attractive thing, right? So now you love, the more you attract love. So this is the Emperor card in the tarot. It's associated with the sign of Aries. This particular path on the tree of life is called constituting intelligence. It is about the structures behind all form and the form. In April, we have the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all spend time in the sign of Aries. And also Eris is in Aries, which I didn't write in here, but I probably should have. Of course, Eris has been in Aries since 1925, but she is in close proximity to Pluto. And so they are squaring each other. They have been for a number of years now. And when you look at 2 planets, sort of which one has like more influence will be with the planet that's further out. And further out from Pluto is Eris. In fact, Eris has a 500 something year orbit, and Pluto has like a 248-year orbit. So it's like twice as far. But that means the orbit, or the sort of the circumference, I guess, is bigger. And so she is in the relationship between Pluto and Eris. She has maybe a larger, broader influence, but because she's relatively new, we don't really know what that means. We don't, we call Eris the Pisto feminine. We call her the goddess of strife, but she's the one who pokes at the warrior's wounds as they lie bleeding on on the battle, in the battle. But perhaps she's pointing to us, is this enough? Is this enough pain? Have you inflicted enough pain on yourself? Because every time you kill somebody, you shoot somebody, whether it's in a whether it's in a war or not, you're killing yourself, because we're all one. And that could be part of Eris's message as well. I don't know. I look at her, I understand a little bit of her story, but I don't understand the whole. I mean, who does? We're going to find out. But she's in Aries, so, and this is that sort of Aries month, right? The sun in Aries. So we're going to know a little bit more about Eris, I think, through this period as well. So when any planet is in Aries, there's an energy of initiation, right? So the sun moves into Aries, it's an initiation of our life purpose, or an illumination of our life purpose, or by revitalizing our life purpose. When Mercury is in Aries, it's information, and information gathering is initiated. We're seeing already what's going on with all this information coming out about certain, I won't name their names in this video, who were, all this information is coming out about, things that they had done that weren't maybe being looked at, are being looked at. And we're going to see a lot of people who've done a lot of sort of cagey things. That's going to continue. And then when we have Aries and Venus, it's a new initiating a new set of values. And with Venus being a feminine archetype, a new set of values around the value of the feminine. The value of the feminine. There's an appreciation of young women, right? And unfortunately, like children, that's what all this like pedophilia is about. But that sort of like, I guess, beautiful innocence, that newness of the child. But the feminine is many layers. It's not just beautiful young women. It's beautiful young women. It's mothers who are populating the earth and taking care of their children in terrible situations or in great situations. A mother's love doesn't change because of how much money you have. A woman who's rich loves her children as much as a woman who's poor. It's just that perhaps the woman who's rich doesn't have to make as many difficult choices because of lack of resources, but it's still the same love, right? We do have a Sun-Eris conjunction on the 13th of April, and that's a new annual synodic cycle between the sun illumination and Eris, the feminine, the angry feminine. So we're going to continue to see that. That's not going anywhere either. So the universal year vibration, again, this is the vibration we feel all year. 5 symbolizes curiosity, freedom, and change. 5 is a pivotal point between the numbers 1 and 9. It's the change point. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it is the pivot point, and you can decide. It's like the intention comes in through spirit 1. Incidentally, that intention in spirit 1 was 2017. That was the beginning of the 45th administration. And then 2 was 2018, was an 11-2. 2019 was a 12-3. The Hanged Man. We had to look at life from a different perspective. Our hands were tied. We couldn't really do anything. We had to observe what was happening. And then we moved into 2020. And what happened in 2020 is we went into a 4. And 4 is about containment. 4 is the square. 4 is the 4 walls. But 4 is also hey in the Hebrew alphabet, which means window. And so while we were encased in 4 walls, we had an opportunity to look out the window or picture our lives perhaps differently, some out of necessity and some out of choice, because you finally had an opportunity to sort of sit back and say, what am I doing? How do I want to spend my life? So that pivot point, you can decide to just continue on down, right? Or you can start to rise up. And that rising up process is a process where we start to become more and more aware of other people and our responsibility towards them. And then ultimately out the 9 and then back again, right? With the 1. But this is a moment of choice. This is part of that V energy. So you will devolve into the 5 senses, right? All the way down. Or you will move in the direction of responsibility, understanding, power, and wisdom. Your choice. It's a choice here. This is the path of clairaudience, clear hearing, which is interesting because the 4 path, the Emperor path, is the path of clairvoyance, clear seeing. So last year there was a lot of clear seeing. This year there's a lot of clear hearing. In order to hear, though, you have to be silent. You have to be still to hear what the voice within says. This is associated with the Hierophant in the tarot. This is the path, I said that, of clairaudience. Here we listen for the messages of spirit, that still small voice within. This card is associated with the sign of Taurus. In April, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Uranus are all in Taurus. The Sun, Venus, and Mercury, of course, are in Taurus as the personal planets, or the planets closest to the Sun move through that constellation. And then Uranus, which has spent 7 years in Taurus, is continuing its journey through Taurus. The Venus and Uranus, Mercury and Uranus, and Sun and Uranus all start new synodic cycles this month. That means Venus and Uranus waking up. So Venus is our values, Uranus is waking up, disrupting, changing. We become awakened to something around our values. Mercury is the planet of the mind. Our minds get expanded through the synodic cycle. And then the Sun is our life purpose. It's our piece of spirit, right? The Sun, the symbol of the Sun is the circle of spirit with the points of self-awareness in the center. We are that point of awareness. It's like we're the ends of a neuron that's touching the earth so that God can know what his creation is. And so we are awakening to greater possibilities this whole year. All of this is happening in the 11th degree of Taurus. So wherever the 11th degree of Taurus is in your chart, this is a big point of awakening. And is it affecting any of your other planets? Maybe you don't have something at 11 degrees of Taurus. Maybe you have something trine that point. Maybe you have something square that point. Maybe you have something opposite that point. Maybe that point is the midpoint between other planets. So these are the kind of things that you can look at on your chart or go to an astrologer and get checked out. So the Sabian symbol for that 11 degrees of Taurus is a woman watering flowers in her garden. And the key word is cultivation. So what are you going to cultivate this year based on your new understanding, based on what you have woken up to? Okay. And then we have the 9 vibration. 9 symbolizes the spirit. 9 symbolizes spirit energy, fully conscious, wisdom attained, and a completion of a cycle. This is the energy of compassion, unconditional love, and universal understanding. This is associated with the Hermit card in the tarot, the wise sage that shines his light forth from the mountaintop, a mountaintop that he or she themselves had to climb, based on your own personal experience. What wisdom do you hold within you? What have you learned on your journey? This is experience pared down to wisdom. 9 is the number of humanity at its highest and its lowest manifestations of our human experience. So we will see both. We will see the best in people and we will see the worst this month. 9 is the number of the humanitarian. We'll see more, there's more energy for that. It is associated with the Hermit card and the sign of Virgo. So anything you have in Virgo in your chart is getting activated through this vibration of 9. And so people born with Pluto in Virgo around maybe 1956, I think is the first person, the end of 56, Pluto went into Virgo. It was in and out, I think in for good in 1960 or 1959. And was in there till 70, 71. All of us born at that time have Pluto in Virgo. This is a very powerful time for us. Our soul is speaking to us. All right, so let's take a look at the Kabbalah. So the paths on the Tree of Life that are activated in April 2021, the number 4 activates the path of the Emperor, the constituting intelligence. The constituting intelligence is the knowledge of the structure of all things. The universal year 5 activates the path of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the path of the triumphant intelligence. This is the path of the still small voice within. 9, the number 9 activates the intelligence of the will, the path of the Hermit, the knowledge that you create your world through your own hand, And we can see this is the 4 path right here, connecting Chokmah, wisdom, to Tiphereth, beauty. Here's the 5 right here, the 5 path. There's the Hierophant card, connecting Chokmah, wisdom, to Hesed, which is mercy, Uranus and Jupiter, Uranus and the sun. We're having a Uranus-Sun conjunction this month. And then the 9, which is Hesed, and which is mercy, and Tiphereth, which is beauty. And this is the path of the Hermit. You create your own world with your own hand. So the chakras that are activated this month through the paths on the Tree of Life, the universal vibration, the 5, mediates between Chokmah, which is the 3rd eye chakra, right up here. Oops, where are we? Third eye, to the throat. What you see and what you speak. What are you seeing? What are you saying? Are they in alignment? This path is activated all year. So this is not just an April thing. This path is completely in the pillar of mercy. This is the pillar of mercy, the masculine side of the tree. This path is completely in the pillar of the past. So there is a lot of knowledge we have from the past, knowledge we have from our past lives, contact with the Akashic records. The Akashic records sit in Hesed. A lot of the past are past knowings. If we listen, are being revealed to us. And it's new information to our awareness here, but it's not new information. So you will see things open up for you and you'll be like, can I really do that? Like, I don't know if I can do that. You can. You can. You just have to open up to the possibility and do it. Spirit will fill in a lot. Chokmah is the Sephirah of wisdom. Hesed is the Sephirah of mercy. The mercy of wisdom and the wisdom of mercy. The chakras activated in April by the number 4 is the path between Chokmah, wisdom, and Tipurah. This was the 2020 path. This path connects the third eye with the heart chakra. What would you love to see? What are you seeing? How does it resonate in your heart? How does opening your heart open your vision? How does closing your vision close your heart? This path connects the pillar of the past through Chokmah to the pillar of the present moment through Tipurah. The pillar of the present moment is the pillar of transformation, change. We're in a change year this year. And the 9 activates the path between Hesed and Tipurah. This path connects the throat to the heart. The pillar connects the pillar of the past with the pillar of transformation, connecting the past with the present. And while you can't necessarily change the past, you can access the wisdom from the past, and you can change in the moment. The combination of these 3 paths brings us vision. Hold on, I'll do this. I gotta move it. Sorry, guys. I can't see because my little thing's over the words. So this combination of 3 paths brings us vision and an understanding of how things are structured, a connection to our own higher spiritual wisdom, and a knowledge that we create our own lives with our own hands. And there's also a connection to bringing the knowledge of the past and past lives into the present moment, where all creation takes place. So the next thing we're going to look at is the astrology of April. And I think I'm going to do that separately. So that was the numerology and Kabbalah. I'm going to leave you now. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If this kind of information excites you or stimulates you, or there's a resonance for it, I do teach a Kabbalah class. I actually have a beginner's Kabbalah, an introduction to Kabbalah going on right now. We're at week 3. It's a 6-week course. So I will be offering that again for those of you who might be interested in taking, learning a little something about the Kabbalah. It is intense. It's an intense course, but you always get something out of it. You always get something out of it. So, all right, I'm going to let you go, and I will be back with the astrology of April and then the card reading for the month of April. Much love. Namaste.